They stole £14 million in cash, gold and diamonds, hidden deep beneath London's richest jewelry district. Not with guns, not with speed, but with patience, cunning, and decades of criminal experience. 6 grandfathers, 1 vault, in a hole so deep it cracked the city's sense of security forever. This is the story of the Hatton Garden Heist, the biggest, boldest, and most unbelievable robbery you've never heard of, until now. They began by quietly scouting the area, observing security guards, delivery schedules, and the comings and goings of workers. They learned that the vault was secured behind layers of steel and concrete, with an alarm system that was sophisticated but not impenetrable. The security guards' shift became their silent signals, and the slow lull of the long Easter weekend provided the perfect window. Inside contacts were whispered about but never confirmed. Some said they had someone on the inside, a shadowy figure known only as Basil, who could move undetected and knew the vault's secrets. Whether Basil existed or was a myth, the team relied on more than just inside help. They relied on their combined decades of experience in burglary, safe cracking, and planting. They purchased industrial drills and diamond-tipped bits, equipment loud enough to shatter nerves but precise enough to cut through 50 centimeters of solid concrete. These were tools not of brute force but of patience and expertise. In the weeks leading up to the heist, they tested their drills in abandoned buildings, timing their work, perfecting the angle of the cut. When the day came, it wasn't a cinematic storming of the vault, it was methodical. They arrived disguised as maintenance workers, dressed in plain cloak with tool bags and trolleys that raised no suspicion. Cameras captured them calmly, wheeling their gear inside, chatting casually, blending into the mundane bustle of the district. Inside, they moved like clockwork. They had discovered a service elevator shaft that gave them direct access to the vault floor. Climbing down into the darkness, their faces masked not by ski masks, but by the weight of years and wrinkles. Men who had seen decades of crime and law enforcement, but were here for one last score. They began drilling through the concrete wall with slow, steady precision. The sound was a harsh grind, but it was drowned by the city's hum and the closed vault's thick insulation. Time was their enemy and their ally. The longer they worked, the greater the chance of discovery, but rushing meant failure. After hours of drilling, their fingers numb and sweat slicking their brows, they finally broke through. A small hole just enough to slip through. Beyond it lay rows of safety deposit boxes, the treasure trove. Over 70 boxes, each holding secrets, fortunes, and valuables. They went through each box systematically, pulling out glittering diamonds, gold bars, bundles of cash, prizes gathered over years by London's wealthy elite. Some boxes held rare gems that could buy islands. Others hid secrets more valuable than gold, confidential documents, old love letters, whispered scandals from the upper crust of society. In those dim, steel chambers, it wasn't just wealth they were stealing. It was trust, legacy, the quiet illusion that this place, this vault, was untouchable. The gang moved like seasoned surgeons, not rushing, not fumbling. Calm hands, steady breath, each man focused like it was a sacred ritual. Just as quickly as they'd come, they disappeared, melting back into the everyday world, unnoticed, invisible. It wasn't until the vault was reopened days later that the truth exploded. Over £14 million gone. The silence of Easter weekend shattered into full-blown panic. Police were baffled. No smashed doors, no triggered alarms, just a single hole, drilled with perfect precision. A signature left, not by amateurs, but by men who had studied their craft for decades. It was elegant, but elegance doesn't keep you hidden forever. The Metropolitan Police formed a special task force. Behind the scenes, a digital dragnet began. Hours of CCTV footage, phone records, forensics. One clue led to another. A van rented under a fake name, a burner phone left on too long, a license plate caught by sheer luck. And always the same thread. Old men. Not hardened young criminals, retirees, grandfathers. They were caught not because they lacked skill, but because they couldn't help themselves. They met in greasy spoons and local pubs, laughing over who took what, who deserved more. They talked about Basil, the shadowy insider who vanished with the biggest share. Whether Basil ever existed or was just a ghost story they told themselves to sleep better, we'll never know. But those conversations were recorded. And just like that, their perfect crime unraveled. Police raided homes, storage units, lockups. They found cash stuffed in cupboards, jewels buried in toolboxes, even gold hidden under floorboards. The evidence was overwhelming. One by one, the 6 aging criminals were arrested. In court, they looked less like villains and more like retired mechanics. But behind those tired eyes were minds that had danced with crime for decades. They were sentenced. Some believe Basil took it all and disappeared into the night, leaving his partners to fall. Others think it's still hidden somewhere in London, a forgotten safety deposit box, a buried stash in a relative's garden, a secret too valuable to confess. In the end, the Hatton Garden heist wasn't just a robbery. It was a quiet war against time, a last desperate push to reclaim relevance in a world that had long since moved on. They didn't just steal jewels, they stole the illusion that age means innocence, that gray hair means safety, that grandfathers play bingo, not the system. But time caught up. It always does. So what drove them? Was it greed or the thrill? Was it pride or fear of fading into obscurity? Drop your theory in the comments. I want to hear what you think really pushed these men over the edge. And if this story made your jaw drop, make sure to hit like, subscribe for more cinematic true crime stories, and share this with someone who still thinks the most dangerous criminals wear masks, not cardigans. And tell me, what case should I break down next? Your idea might just be the next mind-blowing episode.